You are watching Pucknology pregame. It's game 6, everybody, at the tank. Last home game of the season, last possible home game of the season. There will not be another one here. The Sharks are going to have to fight to stay alive, but they have a chance right now. They have life. They have to win 2 games, starting with tonight, and they could hold up the cup. If you want to talk to us here, you can tweet at us. You can use the hashtag Pucknology After Dark. You can tweet at me. I'm at Christian WS on my little thing there. I'm with Ian Reed. He is on Twitter at iReadPucknology. Make sure if you're new here, that you subscribe below. Helps us out a lot. Comment, especially if you're a troll. Please comment because we love that. You're the best. Check out pucknology.net for all kinds of great Sharks content. Starting now and in the off season, we'll have coverage on prospects, everything you could possibly want. The Sharks, probably too much, if that. With that, I'd like to introduce my counterpart here. Mr. Ian Reed is joining me.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Great. Nervous. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm nervous. I don't know. It's weird because I've been kind of, I don't want to say like numb, but I've been mostly numb since game 4. I'm not gonna lie. So everything that happens now is just kind of gravy. After game 4, I was kind of like, meh. And then they put off elimination, and you have the game tonight. I'm tired.
Yeah.
If anything else, I'm tired.
Yeah, we were just mentioning that before on the air. I think as much fun as we have doing the show, I think everyone's looking forward to having a little bit of a break after this because it's been a whirlwind. It's been a lot of fun, but yeah, I think we're all a little tired. But it's almost over, for better or for worse. And I feel you on that. Like after game 4, I was like, you know what? They win, that's amazing. If they lose, no matter what, they've had an amazing run, no matter what the outcome is. So I'm not gonna get upset and be angry. They should have been able to go farther. Like, nah, it'd be a disappointment. But let's say I'm staying optimistic. Like I think they have a shot.
Absolutely.
Martin Jones, if they win this, it'll be Martin Jones, Conn Smythe running away. But yeah. Let's not get into that right now because that is on our list to talk about in pregame here. I mean, I think the first thing we should start out with, though, Mr. Gordie Howe passed away the other day, and I mean, naturally, just had to stick tap to him. Best wishes for his family. It's a terrible thing, but he had an amazing life, an amazing career.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll let you go since you. I know you weren't old enough to watch him play, but
no.
you're Canadian, and it probably means even more to you than to me. So I'll let you talk.
You know what? It's funny because you mentioned like this is a guy I never watched play, but even not watching him play, like I still understand his importance to the game. It's like, I mean, the same thing with Bobby Orr. Like, I never was of age to watch Bobby Orr play, but I know the impact that he had on the game. And with Gordie Howe, it's just 50 billion times that. The thing about Gordie Howe to me is just how he was just always, this is a guy who you could see him and he was always personable. He never had a bad day in public, basically. He always had time for people. And I think that's the thing that will resonate with me most is just how he was as a person and just how he was as an ambassador of the game more than the player. I mean, obviously, storied career, records that eventually were broken by Gretzky, but still like, some records that'll never be broken because I know Chris Chelios made a good run at it, but I don't see anyone playing into their 50s. Although Yager might. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, Yager, it's entirely possible. But I mean, there's the 20 consecutive seasons in the top 5 scoring. I mean, just
right.
He was kind of like the Jerry Rice, for a football analogy of hockey. Like he has had such a long career, longer than anybody, and excellent for a long time. It's incredible. And, he actually, I'm sure everyone's seen the articles, but he had a little moment at the Sharks organization when they introduced the jerseys. He came out and modeled them for them, and which goes back to what you're saying about being an ambassador of the game. Yeah. I mean, he touched anywhere from, the original 6 all the way up to some of the newest expansion teams. I mean, that's a footprint. I mean, as good as Gretzky is, he doesn't have that kind of footprint across NHL history in quite the same way.
No, and that's it too. And I think that's the one thing with Gretzky. Just I know it's kind of straying off, but like we really need to get Gretzky back in the game somehow because it's sad. Like the one thing with Gordy is like he was always like if he was needed somewhere he was there. You know, the NHL pretty much could ask the man to do anything and he had no problem showing up and I think that's you can't go wrong with that, and it's he's gonna be missed because he was good, tough as nails on the ice, but one of the gentlest souls to ever live, and you can't just replace that.
Yep, and tough as nails on the ice is illustrated by the known quantity that is the Gordie Howe hat trick, a fight, an assist, and a goal. I think the franchise leader in that for the Sharks probably Ryan Clough. I'd have to look that up though.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
sounds about right.
Yep. With that, let's move on here. So, I don't think it's leaked yet. Have you heard who's opening the door tonight? Have you heard anything?
I have no idea.
I know AJ was joking. It's going to be the rest of the members of Train. I hope not, because that would honestly be kind of a disappointment. I know I know it means almost nothing really who actually opens the door, but it's fun. It's fun.
It is.
Yeah. With Metallica. I mean, Metallica's cool. I'm not a big fan of Train. If you are, good for you. Whatever. I don't care. It's everyone has their own preferences. But like, I hope it's something cooler than that. I hope it's please give me like Joe Montana or something awesome there. But I mean, I don't think the Sharks are going to need any celebrities to fire them up because I expect the tank to be loud tonight. I mean, it's always loud. It was loud when I was last there, Game 7 against the Preds. It's going to be insane tonight. I can't even imagine how loud it's going to get, especially if they score first.
Oh no, exactly.
They will rain down because they've never seen this before. Pittsburgh has seen this before. A lot of teams have seen this before. The tank has never seen, a final home game of the season where you've literally played every possible home game in your season, and that's crazy. So, and yeah, for those who didn't know, the singer from Train will be doing the national anthem. Apparently, some people are really upset about it. I'm kind of on that. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't really.
Yeah. It's one of those fun things, but did you notice last home game though when Metallica opened that the usual "You Suck" never came?
Yeah,
so I think everyone was too excited about Metallica to get in sync on that one.
Right. No, I completely agree. It's funny. I think it should just be Doug Wilson, and he should just stare down anyone who wants a contract next year. Matt Nieto. I guess not Hurdle because he's injured, but yeah, just anyone who needs a contract next year, just have Doug Wilson stare on the way out the door. I think that's what should happen.
Like you want to get paid, because I mean I'm one of those people who's in favor of reward contracts where it's like you helped us win the trophy or whatever. If you overpay for someone after doing that, I'm not gonna get that upset because whatever, but win the damn trophy first.
Yeah.
And speaking of winning, so we should actually talk about the game itself. I think the big thing we've harped on time and time again in this series, and it's gonna come up again tonight, I'm sure, is the possession game, because that's where Pittsburgh has such a distinct edge, just over and over again, out shooting the Sharks, out attempting the Sharks. I think it was a game. I want to say it was actually Game 4 where it was almost neck and neck, and that was arguable. When Pill said they played a horrible game in Game 4, I disagree. I thought they actually stayed pretty neck and neck with them most of that game. It just shots didn't really fall, and didn't get any breaks there.
No.
But last game, they got nearly doubled up in shots. They got doubled up in attempts for sure. But Martin Jones just absurd, and I think if they win this series, it's going to be on the back of Martin Jones.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the thing at this point. And I think I know we're both not fans of useless stats, but I think it's interesting because I think if the Sharks can win at home tonight and push Game 7, and you can in the Pittsburgh, the useless stat of they've never won the championship at home. If you can get that in their head a little bit, who knows what could happen in a Game 7.
Yeah, really, and that's the key is and if they win tonight, anything can happen in a game 7. I mean, they
That's
could
right.
get their doors blown off. They
Mhm.
could take it. Who knows what could happen? Like really, anything could happen, and that's the thing is like get it back to Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
get it to a winner take all game, and at that point, if they I mean, they have nothing to apologize for at this point, anyways. They are playing with house money, but if they get to a game 7, I mean, that's as good as you can do without actually winning the cup. So
Yeah. Yeah, I
that's
mean, everything from here is kind of just gravy to me. I think that, um, I think that Pittsburgh's for the most part been the better team, and Martin Jones, especially last game, was a big part of the reason that we're watching a hockey game tonight. If not for Martin Jones, we're not tired anymore. Well, we're still tired, but we're not complaining about it.
Yep. Yeah, indeed. And it's weird because like the Sharks, they were a strong possession team against every team before them. They did to
Mm-hmm.
the Blues, to the Kings, and to some extent to the Preds. I think the Preds actually probably faced them up the best, but those teams, they did the same thing. They would kind of choke them out and just force them to take lower volumes of shots and just suffocate them the way the Penguins do the Sharks.
You got to give credit to the Penguins coaching staff. They've altered that style. They've altered their style specifically to play the Sharks, and you have to give their scouting staff a lot of credit for that. You have to give their coaching staff a lot of credit for that. And every time it feels like Peter DeBoer finds an answer, it's quickly they just mix everything up, and we're back to where we started. And that's been the tough part. That's been the toughest part, I think, of the series to watch. Is aside from the games being 2 days apart, can we never do this again?
I agree. Well, at this point, we're going to be in July by the time this is all
I
over.
know it's silly. Like I don't think it. You know what? I honestly I don't think this would be like I'd feel so like it's crazy because my team's in it, but I'm just like I'm gonna be content when it's over. I'm not gonna be happy it's over. Like I don't want to be like, oh, good, I'm done. My team's in the cup. I mean, obviously I want to see them make the best effort to win it, but these 2 day breaks are just stupid.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like we mentioned earlier, I think we're all a little tired, and I think we're ready to have our off season and take some time to
Yeah,
unwind a bit. But
not for
I'm
me.
enjoying it while it's lasting, and we can see the end
Absolutely.
in the it's coming up here. Yeah. So we just touched on Martin Jones, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm of the opinion now, especially after last game. I think whether the Sharks win or lose the series, if they lose tonight, I think Martin Jones has a really strong case for the Conn Smythe, even as on the losing team. What do you think?
I think that you would have to push it to 7 for Martin Jones to be considered for the Conn Smythe. I don't think you can give it to a losing team after only 6 games. It doesn't make, you know what I mean? I feel like the case for rewarding the player on the losing team is just a little bit weaker in game 6 than it would be in game 7. In game 7, I think you could do it, and I don't think anyone would bat an eye. I think in game 6, I think that, yeah, you'd probably get some eyebrows raised. I think that if the series ends tonight, I think it's a Penguin walking away with the Conn Smythe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll get in a losing role, but I think he's got a really good case for it. I mean, if my pick on the Penguins, it's got to be Kessel, but if somehow Murray got it over, got it, I would have a problem with it because I'm sorry, Jones has been the better goalie throughout the playoffs and especially in this series. Like he's the reason why the Sharks still have life in this series because if he wasn't on point, this series would have been over in 5. Like this would
Yeah.
have just been done, or even 4, maybe. Like it's hard to say because it took the Sharks some while to get their legs underneath them and try to adjust and try to get offense going. But Martin Jones has been their rock in this series.
Yeah, I get the case for Matt Murray. And I'm almost at the point now where he might even be third on my ballot now. I had him second before a couple of games ago, but I think he might even be third on my ballot now, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, for me right now, it's kind of like Kessel, Jones, and then
Yeah.
maybe Murray, and if the Sharks were to win, Pavelski or Couture, although Pavelski would need to show up tonight
I can't.
on the score sheet at
It's
least.
Jones running away.
Yeah, I mean, I would say if Pavelski has big games tonight and in Game 7 and they win, you could make a pretty good case for him. But I think it's Martin Jones from the Sharks. And speaking of Pavelski, good transition right there. He got off the Schneid. I mean, I know it was an empty netter, but you think just psychologically maybe that helps
I
him relax a bit.
Yeah, I wrote that. I did the pregame on pucknology.net today, and I wrote that hopefully that, that sometimes, a stupid empty net goal can give a goal scorer a spark, and I'm hoping that that's the case. I still think he's hurt.
Yeah, I honestly, well, I don't mean this in a bad way. I hope he's hurt because
Me too.
if he's not hurt, and this is, I mean, I know you said the same thing on the last post game, but if he's not hurt and this, I'd be kind of disappointed because and not that much actually. I would be disappointed, but not that much because I mean you said it before. Also, the way the Penguins have attacked the Sharks lines, like they've kept some of their best guys, defensively attacking the Thornton line. And when Pavelski or Thornton gets the puck, they are instantly smothered, and they have, it's always a 2-on-1. They're trying to just smother them and giving open space to that third guy, but they're, all over them because they know if you let these guys get going, you could be in big trouble. So they aren't, and they've largely managed. I mean, it's kind of that gambling strategy, right? Like if they were to get the puck loose, they could pay for it very badly, but they smother them fast enough. Well, no consequences.
But that makes me nervous though going forward because obviously 29 or 28 other teams are watching this final, and they're seeing. So if he's not hurt and you're just taking advantage of his foot speed, which let's be honest, Joe Pavelski not the most fleet of foot, that could be problematic going forward if he's not hurt, because now other teams are going to see how to shut him down, and that could be super bad for the Sharks going forward.
Yeah, I tend to believe that he is injured, but I mean, I don't think that many teams can really play the Sharks across the board the way the Pens have. Because if you shut down that Thornton line and you're any other team, you don't have the kind of depth the Pens have. Well, you might shut them down, but you're going to get hurt by the second line, or you're going to leave yourself vulnerable somewhere else in the lineup. So that's the thing about the Pens. It's just their forward depth is insane, and that's where that possession comes from, right? It's just it's crazy how deep and speedy they are up front.
So here's something interesting. Just I saw on the Twitter machine here. San Jose's moved their Gordie Howe tribute to before the second period to give Orlando the spotlight before the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I don't believe you couldn't do both, but I understand.
Yeah, I was just like, I thought they'd just share a moment of silence maybe, but
I guess it'd be a little odd to do two moments of silence, one after the other. I hope that's televised because that would be good. I mean, I assume they got to have a real tribute to that. I mean, that's something we probably should touch on the top of the show. About Orlando. That's so sad and so tragic. I mean, there's thing the other night before with the singer who got shot, and then that just.
It is without getting political about it, is sad times we live in.
Yeah, sorry. Like humans, we need to do better, guys.
Yeah, we need to be better people.
But let's not get too far into that because I mean, we could go on about that for quite a while. And like I said, we're not going to get political or anything like that. So I mean, I guess that's the big thing about Pavelski is that we need him and Thornton to get something going. And I think we've seen more from them, but we need that line to get something going. We saw a lot from the Couture line last game, which was really big that they got going. If we can just get two lines going and Jones has an above average, a Jones type night, I think they can pull it out, especially, they got the crowd behind them. They got momentum. They got nothing to lose at this point. So,
So Slushy's saying the ice looks terrible. Well, it's June. They need to get the Stanley Cup final out of June.
Yep. This has been repeated ad nauseum, but I just don't think it happens. They're not going to have less games. They're not going to start the season earlier. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why they'd like to have it out of June. One just being that way it's not against the NBA finals, because it's just Lovely. Thank you, Warriors, for stealing our spotlight and continuing to do it. But no. Good luck to the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors are gonna finish the job. So now that Draymond Green is suspended, that means he can come kick Sidney Crosby in the package for us.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go. Anyways, let's get on. Let's talk game. Let's get on keys of the game. And I got a few written down,
Sure.
and we can talk through them here. But I think the first most important thing is they got to be tight defensively. They can't hang Jones out to dry because he can bail them out on dangerous opportunities, but they can't be giving, letting the Pittsburgh have any gimmies, the guy wide open like they had, it was a game, I think it was game 4 where that one where guy was, we had 3 guys staring at the puck carrier and the guy was wide open on the far side and just blasted it past Jones. Can't have any of those gimmies. Like, not going to be able to keep Jones perfectly clean, but don't make his life harder than it needs to be. He can play amazing and could, limit the damage a lot.
Yeah.
Just don't give Pittsburgh any gimmies. I think that's the main key. If you have anything to add there.
No, I think, that's a huge point. Martin Jones, obviously, you got to make sure that he can see the shots that he should see. You need to block the shots that, you need to block, and you need to make sure that he can stay in his net. You need to win puck battles. You need to win races. Too many times that, we had the one game, I think it was game 4, where Jones just had to go play the puck because his defense couldn't do anything, and it wasn't good.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I'm mostly I'm side-eyeing Pollock and Dillon on that one. Like,
yes.
the other defenders, I know I don't understand the amount of crap Paul Martin's got. Because, Paul Martin's been put in a lot of bad spots. Part of the reason why he's looked bad because, he is, we've said many times, he's the yin to Brent Burns' yang. He's the guy who balances them out. And part of that is he's got to clean up some of the bad spots. And he's not perfect. He will make mistakes, but he's not their liability right now on defense.
No, not at all.
It's easily the Dillon and
Dillon Spalling. I think Braun, for all the flack he's taken, I think with everything that he's been playing through, he's still managed to put some pucks in the net. And Dylan Pollock. Sorry, Spalling's fine. Dylan Pollock need to just when he can, Peter DeBoer needs to shorten that bench.
Yeah, I didn't look at the minutes distribution from last game, but I'm assuming it wasn't weighted the other way. It should have been, but tonight they need to honestly play those guys. Maybe they need to give them like Matt Tennyson type minutes, 12 minutes on the night and play Burns close to 30, because at this point there is no reason to not unload the tank. Just you have nothing left to play for after this, so just go all out. So that's key number 1 there. That's it's defense, and that actually transitioned right into the next key right there. Shorten the bench, because that's we just mentioned that on defense, but also on offense. I think guys like Zubris, Wingles need to see a little less ice time tonight, especially after the first period or two, and just start stacking those top 3 lines. And come after Pittsburgh. Don't give them,
because that's when Pittsburgh's had the most problems, is when you've moved Couture up to that top line, or with Donskoy on the top line, and then you stack the second line. That's when the problems start. That's when Pittsburgh's had the most trouble with this team. The problem is that Peter DeBoer refuses to do it for any period of time, and that's been and then you start seeing, just like when the game matters, you have Pollock and Dillon out, playing defense with the forwards for why I have no idea.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you can shorten the bench easier for the defense than you can for the offense. Like for the offense, I get why you can't do it constantly, because you roll 3 lines for 2 straight games. That's going to be really, really hard,
especially on guys that have been when you've been rolling 4. And you've had your 4th line eating 10, 12 minutes a game all through the playoffs, and now to expect, everyone else to eat up those 12 minutes. That's a lot of minutes to get eaten.
Tonight, though, they do have last change, so that should give them opportunities to put that 4th line out there in more protected spots, but not sacrificing, prime offensive opportunities for the top line at the same time. So they can protect them more tonight, and I think that might make a case for not shortening too much tonight. But in Pittsburgh, if they get to Game 7, it's shorten that bench as much as you have to. Burns should play 40 minutes that night. Well, okay, maybe not, but Burns needs to play Doughty like minutes if it comes to Game 7, because there is really, at that point, that's it. That's your entire season. That's all the marbles.
Leave it all. I mean, and Pittsburgh's going to do the same thing, and that's it. And it's going to be awesome. And I hope we get to watch it.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. If it comes Game 7, I will be in downtown San Jose somewhere. I have no idea where, but because I want to be there if that place goes nuts. As you said, we can't be taken serious as a hockey fan base until we flipped a few cop cars.
That's right. Absolutely.
And now, please, disclaimer, I am not endorsing doing that at all. No, I really am not. I'm just saying that facetiously. Yes. Do not take me seriously, especially you, Slushy. You are not to flip any cop cars. No. Don't. Behave. Like let's be this. If we win, let's be the city that doesn't tear down our city. Let's do that. But absolutely, everyone should get crazy and have fun, though.
Absolutely.
Go support all the local bars in downtown San Jose and get crunk if they win. All that fun stuff.
And another thing, too, and I don't want to be like, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but if Pittsburgh is able to seal the deal tonight, stick around. Just, to see a puck, to see a cup presentation live is something, you never know when you're going to see something like that again. I understand we all hate the Penguins at this point. We wish they'd all die in a fire, but this is something that you should stick around and watch, because I think it's it's just something it's something that I would love to see live, whether it's my team or just the two teams that I'm completely ambivalent to. I would still love to be there live for that. So stick around, and you know what? For the most part, we're a classy fan base. Be that classy fan base. If it ends, obviously boo Bettman because it's Bettman, but be nice to each other. Be nice to people leaving the arena. Don't hit people in black jerseys.
Yeah, absolutely. Agree. Respect the game. Respect other fans. I don't think we need to say that, but because like Ian said, if they win it tonight, they've won it fair and square. So you're there. I know it might suck, but you know what? You get to be there for a cup final, even if it's not your team. I mean, even Canucks fans were able to sit there and watch the trophy get presented to the Bruins. If Canucks fans can do it, Sharks fans absolutely can do it. So, and afterwards, go out and support your local businesses. Back to keys to the game.
Yes.
So,
sorry.
No problem. It's good little side bit there. But I think the next one is don't ask Jones to do everything, and this ties into defensive breakdowns. But Jones carried the water for this team last game. I mean, the team got some offense, but they did kind of the Giants pitching thing they did during their a couple of their World Series, where they'd get a lead, they'd hang, and then they let the pitcher just count on the pitcher to hang on with that. So don't just get a lead and let Jones do all the work. Try and give him support. Don't give him any of these don't put him in a bad spot. Like make his life as easy as possible. So
right.
Can only count on that for so long.
Yeah, we can't just expect Jones to do everything. We need, the biggest thing for me is the big guns have to be the big guns tonight. Or maybe gun's a terrible phrase to use today, but the big guys have to be the big guys, period. Like we have guys that are leaders on this team that are offensive threats. They gotta be that. I think if those guys can do that and we can get out to another lead again, like last game we actually played with a lead for most of it. It's amazing what happens when you do that. We need to do that again. I think that if they can get Matt Murray, seems like the longer he's in, the more he settles. But early on, he's kind of skittish almost. I want to say not skittish, but he's not very good to start the games usually. I find if you can get to him early, he makes a lot of sillier mistakes, whereas by the end of the game, you're not getting anything past him. So you want to try and take advantage of that too.
Yeah, agreed. And Murray, while better than Fleury, I'm not that impressed by him. I think he's vulnerable. He's hasn't had to work nearly as hard as Jones has. So I think if they can get shots to Murray, and it seems like that's the way, is when they've gotten shots through, they've gotten goals, and that's
Yeah.
been the key, is just get shots through. It doesn't matter how good or how bad. Look for a rebound, look for anything. Just get it through. Don't sit there and dust off the puck waiting for that perfect shot.
That's
Just
right.
throw. If you're going to throw at the net, throw at the net. So last key here, and they all really tie together, but offensive zone time, and that this goes back to, being able to avoid defensive breakdowns and not asking Jones to do everything. You need to spend some time making Pittsburgh defend, wearing their guys out, and making their guys have to work and chase the game a little bit.
Absolutely. Here's the other thing too, and this is something that I pointed out in my article today, is special teams. I know there's been a lot of talk about what's been called, what hasn't been called, and I'm not going to get into that, but I will say this: the Sharks have taken a lot of penalties that are just unavoidable. You put the puck over the glass in your own D zone because you're being pressured, that's going to get called. There's no way around it. You put too many men on the ice because you make a line change. Generally, I know we got away with one earlier in the series, but generally that's getting called, and these are the kind of infractions that the Sharks keep committing.
And a couple high sticks as well. And I mean, it seems like, okay, I shouldn't say they always call that one, because they've let a few go.
They've let a few of those go, but the obvious calls that they have to call, they don't have a choice in the matter, those are going to get called. And if you look at what's the difference been between why has Pittsburgh had one more power play than we've had, it's a big part of it. It's because we've just taken some silly penalties that frankly can just be avoided altogether.
Yeah, and part of avoiding penalties is playing in their offensive zone, because if you're playing in there and they're, I think I read about distributions of how penalties get doled out. It's usually you're more likely to commit penalties when you're defending than when you're playing offense, and that's just it. So be playing offense, be in their zone, make them pay a little bit, make them have to listen to a loud crowd as they're trying to chase the puck around their zone.
Right.
Like try to demoralize them a little bit. So I mean, that's what I had for keys. Did you have anything else you wanted to spotlight there? Any other?
No, I think the special teams thing was just that's the big thing to me, is trying to avoid those penalties that they have to call, that they have no choice but to call. I think that's going to be that can help, because, like we said, they're not calling anything.
Yep. Oh, and looks like we are joined by Puck Guy live from the tank here. So we'll toss over to Eric. What's up, buddy? What's going on?
Good afternoon, gentlemen, from the beautiful SAP Center in San Jose. It's once again a festive atmosphere here. Fans were loud and boisterous outside, even more so from Game 4 when I was here with Gentry. It is even more electric in here. Apparently, we still have about maybe 40-some-odd minutes before warm-up, and the arena is probably roughly half full already.
So I was there earlier in the day, and around like 11 o'clock in the morning, and there were people buzzing around the tank already. I mean, is like half of Santa Clara Street blocked off right now?
Oh, geez. I actually went the back way, and I came in around 1 o'clock, and there was already a walk of teal already going from downtown to the Shark Tank. It's something to behold. It's something we always dreamed and wished for, and it's arrived. And here's to a better effort in Game 6, and to be doing this tonight.
All right, thanks, Eric. I'm not sure. I think you just signed off. We're having a little hard time hearing you there. I think the AOL connection in full effect.
It's gone to my phone now. This is terrific. Great.
Yeah,
have a great time. We'll see you after the game.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eric. So his mobile provider is AOL, for those who don't know.
YOLO mobile.
YOLO. All right, so I mean, let's do final thoughts. Get ready to wrap up here.
Yep.
So I'll let you go first. I'll give my thoughts, and then we'll get out of here.
Final thoughts are basically, again, pretty much what we've been saying the whole time. Regardless of what happens tonight, it's been a heck of a run, and I don't want to say I'm happy either way, because obviously you're never happy to see if things go wrong. You're never happy for that to happen, but it's been a hell of a run, and to be doing this well into June, I mean, I didn't expect this at all, and it's been such a ride. As much as me and Chris have been complaining about it at the stopper of the show, it's still been a hell of a ride, and I'm just excited to watch another good hockey game, and I hope that there's another one to follow.
Yep. Cool. Thanks, Ian. So, I mean, my final thoughts actually summarized very well by Vince G in the chat there. Just win the game. Now, I'm not going to go all Ray Ratto here, but just win the game. Like, I don't care if it's the ugliest, most terrible game. If you get outshot, 50-10 and still manage to cheat your way to victory, and I don't mean literally cheat, I mean as in just basically cheat death, have Jones save your skin so much, and you get by on one goal. I don't care if it's ugly, because at this point, they aren't going to talk about style points in 20 years from now when they talk about who won the cup. They're not going to talk about that. It's not like, the Sharks have had to do that all postseason long. But at this point, if you win your last two games ugly, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Yeah. History remembers the victor, is not remember how they won or how great they looked in the last two games. So if this game and next game look exactly like Game 5 and they pull out victories in both of them, I don't care. And the Sharks have nothing to apologize for. They haven't looked that great in the final, honestly, but if they win it, it doesn't matter, because they look great in every other round, and you're going to have ugly wins. Teams who win the cup often have ugly wins, and that's okay. So yeah, my key here is just win the game. Just do what you got to do. And with that, a couple things before we wrap up. Wanted to say thank you to everyone who's watching now, everyone who's watched all season long. I'm hoping after dark tonight we will have another pregame and postgame, but I don't know. But if this is our last pregame, thank you everyone for who's watched, because we just have like a list so long of people we have to thank, between people who've listened and watched and guests. When it's down at the tank. Family who put up with us doing this, because this is just a little gig of passion here. We do this for fun, friends and family. When I was down at the tank, Hockey Jerk actually came up to me and said hi. For those who don't follow him on Twitter, Hockey_Jerk, ran into a father and a son. Actually said, "Hey, we watched Pucknology. We drove up here from Southern California, and just want to say hey." And I was like, "Damn, that's so cool. Like that is awesome." So for those who have watched us all season, thank you. It means a lot to us. We have a great time doing this. We are definitely ready for a break, but we'll be back in full force. Well, we'll be in full force in the off season, as in maybe once, a couple times a month, but we'll be back in full force next season as well. So those who watched, thank you. Any guests we've had, thank all of them as well. It's been awesome. So with that, gonna wrap up here. If you're new here, subscribe. If you're, have anything to say to us about what we said, if you think we're dumb, if you think we're great, or whatever, feel free to comment below, like the video, all that great stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at ChrisJWS. You can follow him on Twitter at iReadPucknology. I'll highlight your little thing so they can see your bottom third there. That's his Twitter handle. So, and you can follow the main account at Pucknology. With that, also check out pucknology.net. All kinds of great coverage of the Sharks regular season, of their Barracuda affiliate, prospects, everything you could possibly want. So make sure you stick around after the finals are done, whether it's tonight or in Game 7. Make sure you stick around, because we're going to have a lot of content coming your way still. So
yep.
And with that, I think that covers everything. So there's nothing left to say, but have a great evening, everyone, and go Sharks.
Go Sharks.